Gotta prove it up against Legion Esports. As for the lineups, of course, it's Nightmare. It's Opper, Ninja, Soso, Kami, and Jasmine. You know who I'm looking out for here? It has to be Jasmine. I loved his performance yesterday as a Cho, as a Matilda. He really knows how to read the map and when to invade. This time now for Legion Esports, Ninja has to go up against Joe, and he was the standout performer for Legion Esports yesterday as the Fanny, as the Hayabusa. There's a reason why we call him Joe God.
To the table, it gives me the feeling that Nightmare, they're sticking with what they're comfortable with for sure, but it's also kind of the mechanics check, right? We might not have the best draft against you, but we're just going to try and outplay you at every single corner.
Yeah, something about the Nightmare draft compared to, of course, the Khalid and the Alpha. I gotta say, their lineup can punish relatively well if you miss the Spear of Alpha, if you miss the Raging Sandstorm. They have the capability to actually shock and awe Legion, where if they don't get their initiation that they want, it's not gonna go well. But then they picked up a Jawhead who is quite literally an unstoppable force.
Yeah, it's like if you want someone to set up, I'm gonna do the job, right? If you want me to catch the 1-1, the Hayabusa, not a problem. So one way to find out is game 1. We got again Nightmare Esports on the blue side with the Legion Esports on the red. Both junglers starting on the orange cloud.
Yeah, gonna see if in the level 4 rotation we're gonna get a gank in any of the lanes, or if they're gonna go for the route of, you know what, we'll see each other in the river, where a lot of the aggression is gonna be there.
It also comes down to where this Jawhead wants to go. In fact, I'm seeing the Vex. Actually, it is a bit of a lane swap, right? They put the Vexana up top, so you have Oppa having to deal with this Vex, who is just straight up demolishing the wave, and then you have Khalid sandbagging Soso in the mid lane.
Yeah, it seems like this is something I've seen a lot from the Mekong teams, where they get that lane swap so that the Vexana, the mid will get level 4s early. By the time the fight starts, you'll get the Khalid or the fighter in the mid lane with level 4 as well, so that they can maximize their ultimates come the first turtle fight, and then we see them steamroll from there.
I suppose also gives Legion Gaming a good tool to contest the XP crowd that we just saw. Just so much burst, and Oppa can't really walk up to contest this. So, I mean, in essence, I think LG has already gotten a bit of that control. They have to give away the Little Wanderer, but Nightmare Esports can't really get much done on both the side lanes.
Yeah, I feel like there's a good sense of familiarity between these two teams with how they're positioning on the map right now. And again, we're going to be seeing another roamer pack encourage. Oh, meow.
They're going to try, just have the quicksand guard, so Ninja will commit the shadow kill, just gets eaten up. Not really too big of a problem. Now without the Hayabusa, it's going to be a bit of a struggle for Nightmare to contest the turtle, though. Oppa commits the electro final blow, forces out the flicker from Hey. It's going to be a Raging Sandstorm into an RWM as a response from Nightmare. Somehow they get the turtle, but they end up losing 2 of their members. Jasmine with a circling ego secures an even trade for Nightmare, so it's a 2-for-2, but turtle for Nightmare Esports.
Exactly what we were talking about earlier. If LG don't get that initiation that looks good for them, they get punished. That was a perfect real-world manipulation by Soso. Even though He almost took down Opper single-handedly, Opper got to recover, placed down a great Electro final blow to push the Vexana out of position. It forced reactions out of Meow, Joe, and Nart, which led to Ninja living up to his name with a hero. I think it's more than just a comfort. I think he was born to play the Hayabusa.
And his name says it all. Without the ultimate, not a problem. So it's not, there's no goal lead at this point yet, but the fact that Nightmare was able to get away with an even trade against LG, who kind of set up that ultimate resource advantage, that's already a good sign. Perhaps they can try to go into Soso. Mel jumps onto him, and the Spirit of Alpha, Soso with the flicker, turns around with the RWM. Unstoppable Force commitment, they really want him dead, and they will get it. With the Jawhead, Nar will commit himself, but we sacrifice over to Ninja.
Roam for mid-trade balances out the results of the first fight, so no clear winner there. As we look at the items right now, on the way to, I believe what that would be a Genius Wand that Soso will be rushing unless he's going to swerve it. While for the two junglers, still relatively close in the gold. No clear advantage between the two gold laners, although of course the one already has corrosion. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Second death for the Ninja.
That was too good a read coming in from Legion, and not the start you'd want as the Hayabusa. This could make the second turtle a little bit tougher later on.
Kind of caught trying to steal a camp without much info to work with. They do see the Jawhead bottom side, but the turtle is top, so completely opposite part of the map. We even have Meow just sitting in that bush at the purple, but making sure Ninja doesn't even have a chance to steal the objective this time. So securing Legion Esports their first turtle of the game.
Yeah, and that was a good read by Legion. And Ninja, if he wants to be aggressive with where he's going to be going in terms of stealing the camps, I think he needs to coordinate that a little bit better with Nightmare, so that he needs to have someone to cover him. I know the Hayabusa has that great mobility to get away, but things like that led to a big loss. You lose a turtle, you lose your side of the jungle. It's now slight recovery mode for Nightmare. This next sequence cannot go badly for them, but Soul gets caught. Oh no.
That's kind of the... In this situation, is the Flicker more valuable or the Purify? We're going to come back to that in a bit, because they do find a 1-1, even with the built-in Purify. It's not really enough. The BMI actually gets Daylight out, but he has the OG Shadow Q stick onto him. So it will be an even trade. Bot side, both gold laters do go down. Legion Esports can't get more than that, but they sure as heck should be able to do some damage to that bot tier 1.
Nightmare. I wish they had... looking at who they have here, I get why they'd want to pack Flicker onto the Eve. There's a lot of repositioning that you can do with the Flicker, and it means that you can maximize a really well-placed real-world manipulation. But with so much crowd control for the bruisers of LG, a Purify in this scenario might actually would have fared better, but this is the situation we are in right now. LG just starting to throw bodies, and they can do so at this rate.
They're really trying to catch Ninja, even with the Raging Sandstorm and the BMI. Even the placing duet, the commitment, just to make sure Ninja doesn't get out of that. Might get more than just Ninja though. Oppa now in danger, pulled away by the guiding wind. But like you said, Rema, LG, they are starting to just use their bodies as a means of offense.
And one thing that I like that they're doing is that they have a clear positional assignment. We're gonna go here, you're gonna go there. It's not all funneled into one area. That Nightmare now has to try and tackle all of these bruisers from multiple directions.
With Mel around, even with Thunderbelt this early on, there is just really nothing that Nightmare can do. The fact that Ninja has gone down the third time, 1,000 net worth behind Joe on this alpha, recovery mode is going to take a lot longer, right? He just got the Hunter Strike into the Legion Sword. So, a Nightmare, they somehow got to slow this down.
Yeah, this is the scenario now where you shift your attention. Ninja won't be able to carry. You can help him get his farm, but your attention needs to go into your 1-1 and even making sure that the Eve is in a comfortable place to put down a good real-world manipulation, which then turns into Opper just making sure he gets to maximize an Electro Final Blow to deal what damage he can. This Hayabusa now will turn into a 4-1 split. He'll have to clear out minion waves from the side lanes, push out there, which is exactly what they're doing. So you see the adjustment on the fly coming in from Nightmare.
And they do have good heroes to do it, not just Hayabusa, but Oppa also can get it done. I suppose at the same time, the change of playstyle for Benedetta in this current meta, where you don't go for the Petrify, you do, kind of give out a bit of that instant crowd control or setup, but you get the durability to continuously just disrupt the backside. The Thunderbelt, like Oppa is trying to stack it up, but it's so hard to move into LG. Without the eye for an eye, well, actually gets it back in time. Wow, very well timed, honestly, by Oppa.
Yeah, good thing he was able to get away from that, and he was, you could tell Nart and the rest of LG were just thinking about, do we full commit? Are we really gonna go for him? But the moment they saw that Benedetta use that eye for an eye, they were like, alright, nah, it's not worth it to chase him. Now, update on the two gold winners of the Golden Staff already for a Claude, and compared to before, this is his power spike already. You don't need to wait for the corrosion. 2 core items, one of them being a golden staff, you're already locked in. The 1-1 though, I hope that if it's not going to be a Sea Halberd, I hope it rushes the Malefic Roar at this point, honestly. If you want a little bit of a quicker power spike, high damage needs to be chased already.
The high damage, Joe is taking a ton of it, really heating up. Even with the War Axe, not enough this time. 3 members of NM on top of him, and that is the pickoff you want for Nightmare, and a good disengage right as the Lord spawns.
You get acupuncture from Jasmine, precision by Nightmare, finding the right target, and yeah, you see the adjustment wherein they rotated together, not with the Eve, but actually with the 1-1 to make sure that Cammy would get a kill so that they have this enough damage to dish out if ever they get a pick off, and they got it. But right now the positioning of LG around the store is a little bit too good.
Even without the Alpha, the rest of the LG lineup just too menacing. You got the Khalid, you got the jaw hit. It feels like they could take you on 4v5 if they want to. So no Lord take for NM. And LG, they are just gonna play around this area.
Yeah, that's the problem for Nightmare, right? Like the 4-man team fight of LG without the Alpha is great. Subtract one member there, it's still a force to be reckoned with. And the fact that they cannot catch Hehehe on this Vexana 4-0 shows just how much space is being provided by the frontliners. Already up to a Blood Wings going into the third item. I think could be building the book after already having the genius wand, the glowing wand rather, as well. Sea Halberd is the build up for the 1-1, and I think he's gonna be chasing the Wind of Nature afterwards. Just needs a little bit of a physical. Oh,
that's a toss back. Jasmine, he's gone. They get the RWM catch, but a response to the Eternal Guard stops any backline dive. So NM cannot follow up with that. Blazing the way from Daylight to the backline, forcing out the flicker into Spear of Alpha. They funnel him into the hands of Joe, and just like that, it's a 4-man wipeout for the side of LG. Only Oppa left to tell the tale.
In the blink of an eye. And you called it, Husky, the block by the Eternal Guard, perfectly placed by Hehehe. You thought that Cammy and Opper would get the optimal angle to punish LG's dive, LG's pickoff onto, initial pickoff onto Jasmine, but no, it was just blocked by Hehe.
The assignment of LG in that team fight was also very well thought out, right? Like you had a Joe Alpha somehow of all places in the bush to intercept and cut off escape routes. Something that I think and I definitely didn't expect. Alpha also has to back off with this Lord coming in on the bottom side. LG is looking to really do some serious damage.
The good thing about Nightmare is that they are packing a lineup with an Eve. Even though the 1-1 is their gold laner, LG banned out the Nathans earlier, which was a great move. Because they knew they were playing for the early game. If it was a Nathan and an Eve, it would be really tough for them to end this game. But considering that it's a 1-1, it's a little bit more accessible, I guess. If they want to go for that siege, they still have to respect the real world manipulation at the end of the day. With a nature built up by the 1-1, that has to be a Malefic Roar later on to really dish out the damage and counter punish potentially LG's dives.
We even see the third Winter Crown now for LG. First two were on Joe and Nart, and now Meow also joins in the fun. Now talk about it being hard enough to get to LG's backline. Now they have invulnerability.
Yeah, again, it's even LG acknowledges that. Yeah, with an Eve around, it might be tough for us to get the picture-perfect entry and initiation that we want. That we want to survive. If it means packing Winter Crowns across the board so that we can wait out the real-world manipulation just a little bit longer, so then we can continue fighting, then why the heck not? Great itemization by LG.
Even the lane management, right, for LG, I thought that they would freeze the wave just slightly longer to make Nightmare kind of walk out and explore the map. So they do have control, but now it's a 2-3 split. You got the Alpha and Khalid on the top side. I mean, Claude is just farming whatever he wants, and the orange buff completely cut off from NM.
And they're just getting resources across the map right now while still defending their sides of the jungle and the opposite lane. Great man assignment up top with Meow and Joe together. Potentially stopping any split pushes, any attempts in getting that tower. They're not overly aggressive in hunting as 1, hunting as 5. They're still taking care of the map. So you see the respect coming out from LG.
Yeah, a lot of respect, in fact. And the fact that they got such a read as well, right? You see these, that's just now the duos basically breeding right beside each other. But I think LG are going to continue manning that that vicinity. And then they did clear out the wave, but with Lord spawning on the bottom side, of course Nightmare will be the first one to move towards that area.
Then tough for this Hayabusa. Already level 15, yes, but not even with the Endless Battle just yet. While the Alpha's a little bit more free farm. Zoning out by Oppa.
Oppa is really trying to get some space, but they're just going to be patient with their ability. So Oppa down, less than half health. Joe comes in with the Spear of Alpha, Winter Crown, just to buy a bit of time. That's the RWM. They create the box, but you got a Claw jumping on top of Soso, pulled away by Jasmine. Daylight follows up with the flicker, couldn't get the kill. BMI to safety, no one goes down. Hey. With the Wishing Lantern glowing one, doesn't get the kill onto Cammy, who doesn't burn down. They get rid of Ninja, though. Electro Final Blow gets used. Lord finds a knockout on Daylight, but it will be secured nonetheless by Joe, and LG at the end of that finds the Lord and 2 kills.
Perfect entry by Joe. Even better entry by Daylight. The moment that box was put down, he had to let it go away. He dished out what damage he could, but that Blazing Duet was perfect by Daylight.
Another Circling Eagle, that's the 3-man knockup. Another Winter Crown, this one, courtesy of Mel. Immortality actually expended by Joe. I want to try and get this inhibitor at least. With the cannon and the Eternal Guard, one last shot and a new fresh batch of minion wave. Mid inhibitor finally falls, but Nightmare Esports, at least they hold on to the game.
They do have that high ground, but it's at this point where this lead, with LG going to the 50s realm, Nightmare still at around the 40. They can afford one play of them just throwing bodies to try and end the game, whether or not it's with the Lord. If they don't get that, then they have to ease up. But oh wow, Nightmare being aggressive!
Again, RWM, they really want to get Soso, but Daylight, he's uncontested. He's just kind of dishing out damage out to the backline. BMI Blazing Duet, this should be the end game. He finally goes down, but with the crossbow tank, maybe there's a chance for a turnaround. Cammy and Ninja trying to do their absolute best, but Mel comes in and turns it all around. And as best effort has not found any success, LG will be able to take game 1 for sure.
A great attempt by Nightmare. Risky as it was, they just couldn't get the last man. They couldn't get Meow.
Could not get him. Of course, Daylight with that superb bot performance. It's